Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. In this video, we're going to show you how to change out the Whirlpool washer user interface assembly. It's going to be a very easy repair and should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new user interface assembly. The user interface assembly is where you make your selections for the cycle. The main reason you'll be changing it out is if it's failed and it's not responding to your inputs. In order to change the part, we have to go around to the back of the washer. Now that we're on back, we're going to use the Torx 20 driver to take out these 3 screws that hold the top on. Now that we have the screws out, we can lift the top off. We have to pull back on it a little bit so it comes out from the control panel. And we can lift up on it, then lift it off and set it aside. Now that we have the top off, we're going to disconnect the user interface ribbon cable from the main control. It's held in by a little locking tab. We're just going to use a small flathead screwdriver to release it and carefully pull the wire harness out. Once you have the wire harness out, we're going to release it from all the mounting tabs. All you have to do is open these up and pull it out. Once you have the ribbon cable free, you can just set it down until we pull the user interface assembly out. Now we can come around front and we're going to take the control knob off. Sometimes it's on there pretty tight. If you pull on it and it doesn't come out, you can take a putty knife and put some tape around it and help pop it off. Once you have it off, you can set it aside. Now we can remove the soap dispenser drawer. All you have to do is pull on it till it stops and then press the release lever and pull it out the rest of the way. Once you have it out, you can set it aside. Now that we have the drawer out, we're going to use the Torx 20 driver to remove the screw that holds the control panel to the cabinet. Now that we have the screw out, we can release these 3 tabs that hold the control panel on. We're just going to lift up on them, pull forward. Once you have all 3 of them out, we're going to open up the washer door. I'm going to have to press a release tab underneath the control panel to get it to release. Now that we have the door open, we're going to take a small flathead screwdriver and press up on this locking tab right here. Once you have the console free, you can just let it sit because we still have to release another tab, but go ahead and close the washer door. Now that we're back up top, we're going to reach in behind the control panel and release this tab. Once you have it released, you can pull the control panel off and the wire harness through the panel. Once you have everything out, you can pull it off the washer. Now that we have the control panel off the washer, we're going to set it down on a table with a towel on it so we don't damage anything. And then we're going to use a small flathead screwdriver to remove all these locking tabs that hold it in. Once you have the tab released, you want to pull up on the user interface a little bit so it doesn't snap back into place. Once you have all the tabs released, you're going to carefully lift up on the user interface. You don't want to lose anything, any of the buttons or anything when you lift it up. Once you have it out, we can separate the 2 pieces. Here's the old user interface assembly next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. We do have to move all the buttons over from the old one to the new one. We're going to do the colored ones first. If they're on here tight, we're going to take a small flathead screwdriver and lift up on this little locking tab so it goes over this little bump right here. Once you have it released, we can put it onto the new one. The other buttons have little fingers that lock them into the user interface assembly. And you just have to reach in there with a small flathead screwdriver and press them in while you're lifting up on the button assembly. and then you can push it onto the new one. Once you have all the buttons swapped over, we can put the new user interface assembly onto the washer. To put the new assembly into the control panel, we're just going to carefully line it up and set it down. You don't want to drop it down too hard. You don't want the shaft to go through the opening and hit the table. So we're just going to line it up and set it down. It may not lock all the way in because of the shaft. So what we're going to have to do is get it all lined up and then lift up on the control panel a little bit and snap it in. Once you have it snapped into place, we can put the control panel back onto the washer. To put the control panel back on the washer, we're going to carefully feed the wire harness back through the opening. Once you have it all the way through, we're going to snap the control panel on. You want to make sure that the locking tab goes through the opening. You can push it on and lock it in place. Once you have it locked in place, we can use the Torx 20 driver and put the screw back in that holds the console on. Now that we have the screw in, we can put the soap dispenser drawer back in. To put the drawer back in, you just have to line it up on the rails and push it all the way back in. Once you have it in, we can reconnect the wiring harness. Before we hook up the wiring harness to the control, we're going to route it through all the little wire holders. All you have to do is push it into place. Once you have it routed, we can grab the wiring harness and plug it into the control. All you have to do is line it up, carefully push it on so you get a good connection, and the locking tab locks it in. Once you have the wire harness hooked up, we can put the top back on the washer. To put the top on, we're just going to set the front into the lip right there. We can set it down and then push it forward so it locks into those tabs right there. Once you have the top on, we can use the Torx 20 driver to put the screws back in. To put the knob on, you want to make sure you line up the flat on the knob with the flat on the shaft. You just have to turn it over and push it on. Once you have the knob installed, you can plug the washer back in and take it for a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.